Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlin Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week.
Angel Reese just compared herself to Michael Jordan. Yes, that Michael Jordan. Let that sink in for a second. The same player who's had 4-point games, missed layups, and struggled with consistency looked at her career and said, "Yeah, I'm Jordan-level greatness." And when StephenASmith heard that, he absolutely exploded on national television. And honestly, he had every right to, because here's the truth people don't want to say out loud. Michael Jordan didn't just talk about being the greatest. He changed the sport. He turned the NBA into a global machine. He moved culture, money, fashion, and basketball all at once. And here's the wild part. There's a player in women's basketball doing that right now. But her name isn't Angel Reese. And so what actually happened, Angel Reese wasn't just casually name-dropping Jordan in some random interview. She was promoting her signature.
Caitlin Clark became the first ever rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double twice in the same season. In that game, Clark scored her 103-point shot this season, becoming just the 6th woman to do so and first in her rookie season. She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place.
Shoe with Reebok. And this is what she said, word for word. People are going to be wearing Reebok everywhere, just like they wear Jordans everywhere. I want people wearing the Angel Reese shoes everywhere. I'm the Jordan of my generation. That wasn't subtle. That wasn't confidence. That was a full-on comparison. And when that quote hit First Take, StephenASmith didn't miss a single word. You could see it on his face, disbelief, frustration. And then the rant came, because comparisons like that come with receipts, impact, ratings, legacy, and right now, the numbers tell a very different story as, the real question isn't whether Angel Reese believes she's
26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty. My WNBA Player of the Week, surprise, surprise, Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing really to say other than that. She's winning Rookie of the Year. She's a top candidate for League MVP honors. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP. But she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way. Quick hitter number 3 goes to Chicago Sky rookie forward Angel Reese.
Jordan of her generation. The real question is, do you? Drop your answer in the comments. And then someone reminds him that Reese just scored 4 points against the Indiana Fever, 0.4 points. StephenASmith didn't even have to try. The numbers made the argument for him. He called the comparison delusional. And when a 4-point game is sitting right next to the name Michael Jordan, it's hard to argue with that word. But Smith didn't stop at the box score. That's why his take actually landed. He went deeper. He talked about what the Jordan name really means. Jordan didn't just play basketball. Jordan filled arena.
Who has a new weekly podcast called Unapologetically Angel. It's part of Playmakers Network of podcasts from Shaquille O'Neal. On the debut episode, co-host Maya Reese, who is Angel's cousin, asked her to address her feelings about rival Indiana Fever's Caitlin Clark and the Fever's fan base. Take a look at what Angel Reese had to say about that.
Jordan took Nike from a running shoe company and turned it into a global empire. Jordan turned casual fans into obsessed fans. And he did by backing up every single night on the floor, not during press tours, not during shoe launches. But between the lines, here's where it gets interesting. Smith used Angel Reese's own branding ambition against her. Because the Jordan comparison only works if you're doing what Jordan actually did. And what Jordan did was drag the entire league forward with him. Every city he walked into was packed. Every game moved the business of basketball forward. That's the standard the name carries as the moment you put your shoe next.
Quote, Caitlin Clark fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans, I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that. But when it comes to death threats, like, I'm talking about people who have come down to my address, following me home. Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me naked, literally. They've sent it to my family members. It sucks to see that, and it's really hard that I have to go through that.
His name. You're also putting your performance next to his performance. And that's where the argument completely collapsed. This wasn't just a TV takedown. Smith was drawing a line. He was saying the Jordan label has a price. And that price is dominance, consistency, real cultural impact, not controversy, not headlines, not social media debates. results that make the entire sport bigger. And once that line was drawn, the conversation had to go somewhere else. Because if Angel Reese isn't the one doing the Jordan thing in the WNBA right now, then who is? Smith didn't leave that question hanging. He pointed directly at one player, the player selling out arenas, breaking TV records, landing deals women's basketball had never seen before. And she wears Indiana Fever, our ED. And so let's talk about what moving the needle actually looks like. Real numbers, real impact.
End quote. If Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be? But she is young. She's only 22. And the reality is the scrutiny that she's been subjected to is inexcusable. It's egregious. It's disgusting. It's wrong. And there's a bunch of punk, no good, you know what's out there on the male and female side.
Caitlin Clark shattered the WNBA's all-time single-season attendance record as a rookie. Fever games pulled TV ratings the league had never touched, and that new WNBA media deal, the one worth over $2 billion, had her influence written all over it. Even if her name wasn't on the contract, the league was growing before she arrived, sure. But the curve bent hard the moment she stepped onto a professional court. Picture this, it's 1988, and that's where the real comparison actually begins. And Michael Jordan didn't just dominate the NBA. He turned it into something the entire world had to watch. Casual fans became obsessed fans. International audiences suddenly care about Chicago. Nike went from a running shoe company to a cultural institution because Jordan was wearing their...
Who are abusive because they're really, really good at being that way when they're behind keyboards and away from cameras and out of the spotlight where people know exactly who the hell they are. The only reason that I brought up the first part about Angel Reese is this. Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star. And Angel Reese is to be completely believed that there's no hate. They both get along. They're cool with each other. They're high-end competitors, etc., etc.
Logo. He didn't just play basketball. He made basketball bigger than the sport itself. And Caitlin Clark is running that exact same play right now, just in a different league, in a different era. And then there's Tiger Woods. Because Tiger isn't a comparison people throw around lightly. He turned golf into must-watch television for people who had never picked up a club in their lives. Sunday afternoons in the late 90s and early 2000s, people who couldn't even explain what a birdie was were glued to their TVs because Tiger was playing. Clark is doing that same thing to the WNBA. People who have never watched a women's basketball game are setting phone reminders for Indiana Fever tip-offs.
But you've known they were coming for you when you were waving your hands in your face to mock Caitlin Clark when you were beating her for the national championship. And you also are old enough to know that in this society, whether they want to admit it or not, they don't like seeing somebody black coming at somebody white who is a beloved star of theirs. That's not the case with all. It's not the case with most. But those who screech the loudest get the most attention sometimes. And that's what the worst of cynics and critics do.
That's not hyped. That's a real cultural shift happening in real time. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Because when you look at endorsements, the business world starts speaking louder than the sports world. Caitlin Clark became the first female athlete ever to endorse State Farm. Not the first WNBA player, the first woman in the company's entire history. She landed a Wilson Sporting Goods signature line, the first Wilson signature line since Michael Jordan. Her Nike...
And so you knew they were going to come for you. You had to know that. Now, to the degree that they're doing so, I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. But keep your spirits up, because you're at a decisive advantage, Angel Reese. You're at a decisive advantage because they made the mistake of letting you know who they are, whoever those people are. And now you have perfect justification for keeping people at bay and not letting people too close where they could potentially hurt you.
Nike deal is the largest endorsement contract in WNBA history. Then she added a record-breaking Gatorade deal on top of that. But the one that really tells the story, the LPGA partnership. That's when you realize she's no longer just a basketball name. She's a full-scale sports figure crossing into golf, fashion, and everyday consumer culture. Brands from completely different industries are lining up because her audience follows her everywhere to SO when StephenASmith points to Clark as a real needle mover he's not.
It's something most people usually learn when they get older. You learned it younger, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You're at an advantage. As for the Caitlin Clark fans she was alluding to, she ain't lying. It's not all, it's not most. A lot of them are fun-loving. A lot of them are great fans. A lot of them are great, great people. But some of them are racist. Some of them don't want Angel Reese to be the one coming at her, and they use ethnicity as the rationale behind it. Again, very few compared to the many who wouldn't do that. But it is that kind of hate.
Creating television drama. He's not exaggerating. He's not pushing narrative. He's just reading the data out loud. The attendance sheets, the TV ratings, the sponsorship portfolios, they all tell the same story. The Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods comparisons stick, not because of championship rings yet, but because Caitlin Clark is pulling in people who had no reason to care before she showed up. And none of this started with a shoe campaign or a bowl comparison. Go back to April 2023. The NCAA championship game, LSU Tigers versus